The Phantom Train by Kaushik Nag. Peter was a passionate railway enthusiast, fascinated by the history of old rail lines and abandoned stations. He spent countless weekends exploring forgotten junctions, documenting his finds through his camera and blog. One chilly, foggy evening, he decided to visit the old Whistle Creek station on the outskirts of Burlington. The station had been shut down decades ago and was rumored to be haunted, but that only fueled his curiosity. As he reached the station, he felt a strange heaviness in the air, like an unseen presence watching him. The old signboard hung crookedly, and wild creepers had taken over the broken platforms. The tracks were rusty and covered in weeds, and the entire place seemed frozen in time. He set up his camera, hoping to capture the eerie ambience. But as he focused the lens, he heard something unexpected: the faint, rhythmic clanking of train wheels. Peter frowned and checked his phone for the railway schedule. No trains were supposed to run on that line anymore. The route had been abandoned decades back. Yet the sound grew louder, and through the dense fog, he saw a dim, flickering light approaching down the tracks. His heart pounded as the outline of an old steam engine emerged, billowing thick black smoke. The train looked ancient, its metal worn and grimy, and its headlamp flickered like a dying candle. Passengers filled the compartments, their faces unnaturally pale and devoid of expression. Peter's skin prickled as he noticed something odd. The passengers weren't moving or talking, just sitting there, as if frozen in place. Suddenly, his eyes locked onto a woman, dressed in an old-fashioned gown, her face etched with terror. She looked directly at him through the window, raised her hand, and waved desperately. Her lips moved soundlessly, but he could make out the words,
"Help me."
As the train slowed to a halt in front of him, Peter cautiously approached, gripping his camera tightly. The compartment doors creaked open by themselves, and a sudden rush of cold air hit his face. He hesitated, his instincts warning him to stay back. But curiosity got the better of him, and he stepped closer. Just as he reached out to touch the handle, the entire train flickered like a disrupted projection. He stumbled backward, and in the blink of an eye, the train vanished, leaving behind nothing but silence and the lingering scent of burnt coal. His camera continued recording, capturing only an empty track. Shaken, Peter rushed home, his mind swirling with questions. He scoured the internet for any mention of the Whistle Creek station and its haunted reputation. Finally, he came across a newspaper archive from the 1950s. One headline caught his attention. The newspaper excerpt read, "Tragic train derailment. Claims 72 lives. Engine 746 derailed near Whistle Creek Station." The article detailed a horrific accident where an overcrowded train had derailed on a foggy night, plummeting into a ravine. Survivors reported that the engine had malfunctioned and the brakes failed, leading to the catastrophe. Among the victims was a newlywed woman named Alice, who was traveling alone to meet her husband. Her body was never recovered, and legend had it that her restless spirit still roamed the tracks, waiting for someone to help her complete her journey. Peter's hands trembled as he read more stories from locals claiming to have seen the phantom train on foggy nights, retracing its doomed path. Determined to prove what he saw, Peter uploaded his footage online, but skeptics called it a hoax. Yet some older residents messaged him privately, sharing their own encounters with the ghost train. One elderly man recounted how his father used to work at the station and had witnessed the train's ghostly appearance multiple times, always at the exact same hour, 12:13 a.m., the time of the original accident. They believed that the souls of the passengers remained trapped on the spectral train, forever replaying the moment of their untimely demise. Determined to uncover more, Peter returned to the station the following week, this time armed with recording equipment and a portable thermal camera. He sat on the abandoned platform, waiting as the fog thickened. As the clock struck 12:13, the unmistakable sound of the steam engine pierced the air. The train materialized once again, chugging past him at a crawling pace. This time, he noticed something new. The ghostly passengers' faces were turned toward him, their expressions shifting from blank to pleading. Then he saw her again. Alice, at the same window, mouthing the same desperate whispering, echoing plea.
Help me.
Summoning his courage, Peter shouted back,
"How can I help you? What do you want?"
For a fleeting moment, the woman's eyes filled with hope. Then, in a deafening roar, the train vanished once more, leaving Peter disoriented and chilled to the bone. The footage captured nothing but empty tracks and dense fog. Peter never returned to Whistle Creek Station, but he often dreamt of Alice's haunted eyes and the spectral train, eternally cursed to travel the forgotten tracks. Locals say that on foggy nights, if you stand at the old platform and listen carefully, you can still hear the distant chugging of Engine 746, carrying souls that never reached their destination. Some journeys never end. Sometimes trains don't just move through space, but through time, and beyond death itself. If you enjoyed this spine-chilling horror story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more thrilling tales. Hit the like button to show your support and share the story with your friends.